Hi everyone, I'm making a video from my own experiences on toxicity within relationships. It's a big subject, isn't it? So I'm going to break it down. This is purely talking about experiences within partnerships rather than parental toxicity, social toxicity. I need to talk about the relationship that you would have with your partner, with your loved one. For myself, I can talk about that quite freely because I am actually a survivor of domestic violence. Do I look like one? No. What does one look like? Who knows? Truth is that toxicity can happen within any relationship. It can occur at any point when we don't keep checking in with ourselves and with our partners and keep our own personal responsibility paramount. For 5 years I was in a physically violent relationship. It wasn't pretty, but for me, I felt more comfortable staying in that, knowing what was coming, than the fear of the unknown. It's pretty huge, isn't it? It really is. I've done a lot of work to come to a point of complete acceptance with that. The last thing I ever thought that I would do is end up in another relationship that took me into the realms of mental and emotional abuse. It's not something we talk about, is it? Why don't we talk about it? Why don't we talk about these things that happen every day all around us? Why? I don't get it. I'm happy to talk about it. I'm comfortable to talk about it. I don't see myself as a victim in that sense. I see myself as a survivor. Emotional abuse, mental abuse, it's really dark. It's really dark because it's almost as though it's not there. With physical violence, at some point you're bound to get marks. I did, from my own experience. Although the abusers are really good at hiding those things. With emotional and mental abuse, it can make you feel like you're going crazy. It can make you feel like everything that you knew, everyone that you knew, is against you. And that's the aim, it's to isolate you. It really is. I never thought I'd end up in that situation again, being this person that I've made myself. I thought I naively thought that I was strong enough not to see the signs. Thing is, they happen so gently that it is almost as though they're not there. And that's really dangerous. Really dangerous. We don't talk about these things. Why don't we? I know how easy it is to fall into those situations. And what it does is it screws with your head. It makes you wonder what reality actually is. You can become isolated from your family, from your friends, from your tribe, from your children. And you're left thinking that the only thing that is real is the person in front of you that is actually causing this. That's really painful. I found it really painful because I didn't want to believe what I knew. I didn't want to believe that somebody was capable of doing that. You like to see the best in people. But the truth is, some people are just toxic in themselves. And actually most people that do it are not aware of what they're doing to the full extent. There are those that are. There are those that are fully aware of what they're doing. But some aren't. It doesn't make it any better. It doesn't make it right. What happens after you've come out the other side of those relationships and somebody actually stands there in front of you and loves you completely, fully accepts every single part of you? Wow, it scares the shit out of you. It does, because you're kind of waiting. You're treading on eggshells. You're waiting for what you know, and sometimes that's all you know, to begin again. But what happens when someone comes to your face and stands there and wants nothing but you? As you are, not changing you, just as you are. It's scary as fuck. It really is. I know that because that's happened to me too. When somebody sees you and thinks and knows that you're everything that they want, that's when most people run away. I'm not. I haven't. I stood there shaking, but I didn't run. Thing is when we finally get somebody that loves us for us and really has nothing but admiration, love, compassion, complete enveloping you, most people aren't ready for that. They're asking the universe, they're wanting this to happen. When it happens, they're like, fuck, what? Oh my God, what do I do? Hence, most people run from it. You can be enough, you are always enough. But if that other person isn't ready, then they're not ready. You can't make them ready. You can't make anyone ready to do anything that they're not ready to do. You know in yourself when it's time to say, do you know what? You're not ready for me. You're not ready for my love. And that's okay. Go find yourself. On the other side of that, when you are ready and someone like that comes into your life, you kind of think it's too good to be true. I know that. And you think it can't get any better than what it is right in that moment. But there's a secret. It does. It does every single day. They kind of blow you away a little bit more each and every day just by being them. That's awesome, isn't it? And by being completely you and them being completely them, toxicity doesn't exist, because you either choose to accept what's in front of you, who's in front of you, and embrace them, or you don't. That's again is a choice. So if you're feeling that things aren't right, if you're feeling squashed, speak out. Talk to people. Have a good look at yourself inwardly. Have a good, is this right for me?